Trade video time, and it's the first one and kind of the last one because the trade deadline has passed.
This is also the start of today's STB.
Yeah. We've already recorded it, but, Artemi Panarin was traded, and Adam Schefter, who is an ESPN insider, but mostly for the NFL, broke the trade. The LA Kings have acquired Artemi Panarin. He had to call him standout forward Artemi Panarin. If he was a hockey guy, he wouldn't have to do that. From the New York Rangers in exchange for a conditional third-round pick. I don't know what the conditions are. Please don't ask me. And prospect Liam Greentree. Emily Kaplan was apparently first on this as well. She was working with Adam Schefter on it. They both work for ESPN, don't you know? So Liam Greentree, conditional third for Artemi Panarin. As of right now, as of this recording, there is no extension. And what's interesting here is that apparently what held this trade up, because he apparently wants to make the move over the Olympic break. Russia's not in the Olympics, so he's not going to be playing for them. What apparently made this happen is he was waiting to see if anybody would step up with an extension. Nobody did.
Yikes.
Nobody broke.
So I wonder if kind of feels like there might be a chance he gets traded again, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't
Because
know.
there are games between now and the trade deadline. Not a whole hell of a lot.
I understand why you say that, but I think, well, first off, LA is not squarely in the playoff picture.
Right.
But we were talking, and we've talked about this several times, guys, on the show this week about what a great fit Los Angeles would be, especially on that second line, next to a guy that we've been saying for years, it's about time he broke out. Who am I talking about?
Quentin Byfield.
Quentin Byfield.
That's right.
Yep.
And I think this guy might be perfect for him. Plus, LA needs to go for it. It's Anze Kopitar's last.
This is exactly what they need. I think we were very on it with that conversation a couple days ago. Like, he fits perfectly in their window. They are going to have the cap space to sign him if they want to. The left wing is an area that they are a little light on. I know they have Fiala and Moore and Perry and Malott there right now, but he's going to go right into that top line. I think he can play next to Kopitar, and they're going to have a good little run here. Or he can just push Corey Perry down and play on that second line. And this could be, I think this could be a really good acquisition for the Kings if they want to make that playoff push, which they are trying to do.
Having a top six wing situation of some combination of, I would assume more over Perry. Maybe not. Like Perry, Fiala, Panarin, and Kempe. That is frigging ridiculous.
The thing I'm most shocked about with this trade is they didn't have to give up anything off the roster.
Yeah.
What a fantastic move for them, and no real draft capital either. It really shows how much Panarin controlled the situation, because I thought they would get a lot more than this. Maybe Chris Drury's just bad at his job, which he might be, which I think he is. But I think LA is doing fantastic here with this deal and getting Panarin in there for nothing that they're losing off their NHL roster.
Now, Rangers fans, you probably want to know a little bit about Liam Greentree.
Tell me about the tree and why it's green, Steve Dangle.
So as soon as I heard the trade, I'm like, ooh, that's not very much. Wait, what do you mean, Liam Greentree? So he was a first round pick, 26th overall, 2024. Of the LA Kings. His last season in the OHL was absolutely preposterous. In 64 games, well, I should say in his draft year, in 64 games, he had 36 goals and 90 points.
Okay.
That's how you go in the first round. The next season, also in 64 games, 49 goals, 119 points. That's so many points.
That's a lot
now,
of points.
Windsor was stupid stacked last year. That's why they had a little playoff run like they did. He played 11 playoff games last year, 14 goals, 24 points. This season, he's obviously taken a step back. In 34 games, he has 23 goals, 45 points. That's not nearly the point pace, but the Windsor Spitfires as a whole have taken a step back. He's everything you want in a junior prospect. He is from Oshawa, Ontario. That's a big plus in junior hockey. He's 6'3", he's 216 as a 20-year-old, and he has a ridiculous scoring touch. This guy, I think, is going to be a Ranger next year.
Well, yeah, I think so too.
100% agree with that.
I want to say this about the Los Angeles Kings. They are third last in goals for this season, third best in goals against this season. They need to score. Mm-hmm. And their power play percentage is just ahead of the Flames, weirdly the Avalanche, and the Utah Mammoth, 15.6%. for the Los Angeles Kings. Artemi Panarin, guys, is a power play god. He can spread the field a little bit, take a little bit of the pressure on power play one off of a guy like Drew Doughty, for instance. What do you think he brings in terms of overall, not just star power to LA, which is a city of stars, but experience and this push for the playoffs that's so important to them?
Well, now I'm trying to remember all these stats off the top of my head from 2012, but like it's definitely giving me the vibes of that. That was not a particularly special team that the Kings had, and if I'm not mistaken, when they went out and got Jeff Carter, I want to say they were 11th in the West. They were, if I remember correctly, second in goals for or in possession after the Jeff Carter trade. I could see this being just as transformational for the Kings. They're obviously betting on goaltending. They have an Olympic caliber goaltender in Darcy Kemper. They have an Olympic defenseman back there in Drew Doughty. I'm not as bullish on
the Edmondsons and CCs of the world.
Yeah, I'm not as bullish on that decor.
And Jesse's not bullish on Jim Hiller.
Right, no, he's not.
No, Jim Hiller's a bad head.
He's not bullish on him at all. But this team is going to be very difficult to handle because they've already, when they're healthy, and this is an important thing, they're already pretty formidable up the middle. Like, it's crazy that Byfield's playing on their third line, according to Daily Faceoff. But this could be the kind of transformational trade that the Carter one was, because how often are you able to add a player the caliber of Artemi Panarin at the trade deadline?
Oh, never.
It just doesn't happen.
Jesse, you look at the wild card situation in the West, and the LA Kings obviously are in the thick of it. Within striking distance of a wild card spot right now are the Nashville Predators at 58 points, although we think they're fading. San Jose's been put up a really great effort this year. Wherever they finish, I think they're going to look at it as a successful year. Then you've got LA. So San Jose at 58, LA at 60. The second wild card spot right now is held by the Kraken at 61 points. First wild card spot held by the Utah Mammoth at 62. But the division is within striking distance because, Jess, the LA Kings are within 4 points of number one.
Yeah, no, if you're asking me to put money on somebody who's going to get into the playoffs, who's outside of the playoff picture, right? I don't have it in front of me.
They are outside by one. Yeah,
I would put money on the Kings getting back to the playoffs again. Like, the Pacific is really weak in terms of like where they all sit in terms of the overall NHL standings. The feasting on overtime and shootout points by the Pacific Division teams is actually insane when you look at the standings. So I think the Kings can easily make a push here to get in.
The Golden Knights and Edmonton Oilers are 1 and 2 in the Pacific. They both have more losses than wins.
Let me ask you this. Last question, gentlemen. Let's say they don't get first in the division. Let's say they get to third, okay? Or even second. It's LA and Edmonton for a fifth straight year if that happens. So far, the Kings are 0-4. Would you take a Los Angeles team, great defense, bolstered by Artemi Panarin on offense, against the relatively shaky-looking Edmonton Oilers in the first round? Would you take LA? Will they finally get through the Oilers if they got to play?
I'm gonna say no.
And you have to show your work. Explain your work.
Other 4 times.
Okay. All right. Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah, what are we talking about? I'm gonna quote George Bush. He said, "Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again." Won't get fooled again. That's an actual quote. Look it up.
But this trade, I think, is your best chance of avoiding them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but like, if they face them, they're gonna lose.
Could
it be Ken Holland's revenge?
That is a crazy, fun little storyline.
Isn't it?
And I'm fascinated to know, this is why I've been thumping the Leafs so much for getting something done before the Olympic freeze. Now Ken Holland has the next month
to do other things,
to work on whatever the hell.
Yeah, going to be real fascinating.
Can we talk about the Rangers side of it? We spent a lot of time in the Kings.
Sorry, yeah.
Chris Drury, this is a mark on the way he has run this organization over the last couple of years. We've reached the point where you have one of the biggest stars in franchise history, one of the best players on your team. You have to trade him for a conditional third and a top-end prospect, and that is all you're getting for this season of Artemi Panarin. You should have never reached this point with Panarin because you should be pushing for the playoffs, but you've mishandled this roster so much that this season and last season have been disasters. It should have never been this way because this was your competitive window based on the 24 team. And since that conference finals run, you've messed up this whole thing so much that this is the end of the tenure of Panarin in New York. And that is a huge stain on your legacy as GM. And it really speaks to how you've run this team.
He is probably the greatest free agent they've ever signed. Maybe people want to say Mark Messier, but in terms of total points, Panarin's numbers are unbelievable. Jesse, are you saying that to the camera for the audience, or are you talking to James Dolan?
I am. James Dolan would never listen to this. I don't know if this can get into his bar he's playing at with his dad rock band.
Yeah,
the guitars are probably too loud, so he'd never hear this podcast. But if he were to ever to listen to this, stop making Drury your side man to do all of your biddings, and realize he has not been running this team very well for the last few years, and this is what has happened to a franchise icon here. It's a shame.
Last word, Steve Dangle.
There's not a ton to smile upon with what the Rangers have done. Here's my guess. I think Liam Greentree is a really good prospect, and I think the conditions on that third rounder are based on making the playoffs and re-signing. My guess is if things go well in LA, it ends up as a first.
There you go.
That's my guess.
We'll see.
That's a bold guess. We'll see.
And,
All right.
and then it would be 2 firsts for Panarin, and you could do worse.